Apparently we're live. This is a whole new setup for me. I am so confused.
I don't like it.
Why did we change?
Because it won't let me log on to my StreamYard.
Oh, did you also have that issue?
Yeah.
So I think it's fixed now.
Yeah, it wouldn't send me my login code. It kept.
No, it wouldn't
But
send me mine.
2 or 3 days later, I got like 5 emails with.
And me! That is exactly what happened to me. So that's why I texted you the other day, being like, oh, I think I've got access to it again. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our first live of 2026. I'm coming to you fueled by Celsius. I'm so glad these are in the UK now. They're blinking brilliant.
Blinking brilliant, they are.
And they keep coming out with new flavours. Couldn't tell you if the caffeine actually has any impact because I could nap after this, but they taste really nice.
Caffeine has 0 impact on me at all.
Yeah, I think there's something interesting going on with my brain, but we don't talk about that.
What are you talking about? AD
Well,
what?
we don't want to like claim it and it not be true, and it's just me.
I'm sorry, but like, if no professional could look at you and say,
it's just you.
It's just you.
There's
nothing.
There's a load of vitamins in this as well, so apparently it's good for you. 7 whole vitamins.
7 whole vitamins out of the many vitamins you need.
I don't even know what vitamins I do need, to be fair. I just know that this tastes like mango lemonade and it's great.
Nice.
Woo.
So we're finally back. We finally got around to, after many technical problems on both sides.
Honestly, I felt so bad last week messaging you being like, yeah, my internet's gone down, it don't work. Because the thing is, if it had just been one day, I would have been like, it's fine, I'll figure it out. But it had dropped the day before and it was out for about 4 hours while I was meant to be working from home. So I had to use my work phone to hotspot for that. That was fun. And then it came back on and I was like, it's all going to be fine. And then it dropped again on the day we were meant to go live last week. But the information was like, yeah, we plan to fix it at 4 o'clock on Thursday. And I was like, oh, okay. Right. Great. Cool. Let's just move that.
It's fine. After many, many technical difficulties, we are here and we are talking about, and I will put my hands up again and say, 'twas me who DNF'd the book. The Mask of Mirrors. For those reading,
I have actually been listening to the audiobook of Mask of Mirrors. And I've got to be honest, it's confusing as hell. Like,
it's boring as hell.
It is so much more exciting. Hang on, where am I? Not that we're here to talk about it. I was listening to it today at work. I have 5.5 hours left of it.
Oh my god, I could not have got that far into it. I'm sorry.
Which is only chapter 12. Might I add? I mean, that is on 2 times speed.
But you've got 5 hours left.
Yeah. But it's all kicking off now. There's like a lot of like intrigue and political things, and
yeah. So the political stuff that I was enjoying, but it was just like the whole like the characters were just so boring. And I was on Becca's live, and I was like, I can't DNF yet. And I said every single series we've DNF'd for this thing, it's because of me.
Did you say that on the live?
Yeah.
Ah, man, I wish I'd been on that live.
I was like, I can't do it again. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep pushing through. And then I was like, I can't. I was like, I got to a point, you know, when you try to do anything but read.
Oh yeah, I do that on the reg.
I knew when we mentioned, because Steve and Arian, I was like, well, we both like books from him before, and like he does sort of like political stuff and war stuff really well. So I was like, do you know what? Battlemage, we mentioned it as a potential anyway, so we'll just
literally when you said, oh, I'm not feeling this anymore, I think I came and stood in this room and I was like, right, what are trilogies that are completed?
We're running out though. We are running out.
Honestly, I am. Like trilogies and stuff. I was like looking around going, you know, the ones that like other people haven't already got read-alongs for and stuff that have been like quite recent. I know that, you know, everyone's going to read books and stuff, but if I'm aware of them, I do try not to include those in our picks of like, well, like if like Becca's reading Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. And I was
Yeah,
like,
John
I didn't
Gwynn's
want to read
books.
that, but you know, like she's recently done that, so I'll
Yeah.
either join her read along
Or not.
I've got so much on, like I would love to, but I'm so far behind in everything else that I'm just like,
You're not behind. You're just a bit slower than other people.
in more ways than one.
That sounds so wrong. I'm not insulting you.
You can insult me, it's fine. Only hurts if it's true, so it hurts a little bit.
But I did take a few little notes.
Wow, I did not. I
So,
will also admit that once my internet went down, I was like, right, I have to finish this book today. I tried. I was trying so hard, and I was just like, I think the internet is kind of on my side as well.
so what intrigued me about this book to begin with, obviously, because it was written by Stephen, and we do love a bit of Stephen's writing, but obviously it's one of his earlier series, isn't it? So
I think this is the very first trilogy he ever, not necessarily that he ever wrote, but he ever had published.
see, that is surprising to me because although there was some things in it that, for me as a reader, I prefer, such as like the world building. I would have liked a little bit more world building. But like it was still so good for me because I prefer characters over world building. So I would have liked a little bit more world building just to get a feel of where we were. But the character work is it was so good. The first chapter where we meet Balfrus.
Yeah.
Is it Balfrus? No,
Well,
it's Vargas.
I've been
Vargas.
saying it in my head.
No, it's Vargas we met, isn't it? Like when it killed the bandits.
That's
In the
Vargas.
beginning. Yeah, I said Vargas.
You said Balfrus first.
Yeah, and then I said no, it was Vargas.
Sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vargas. Yeah, I
loved that entrance. That was just like an epic. In my mind, I could see that in like the opening scenes of a series or a film, just like all these bandits sitting around a fire, thinking they've got away with doing something really dodgy, and then this guy, unassuming, looking like in his 50s, not looking to, they're not clocking him, and then all of a sudden he's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
That is exactly what he did. Yes, he did exactly that.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy this book. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as you, which I'm gonna say doesn't surprise me. Like in the nicest way possible. But the thing I did say to you, which I think is very key to my feelings about this book as well, is for the whole of this book, I was like, and by the end of it feels like a standalone. Like, where are we going from here? And I'm excited to see where we do go from here. Like, I'm guessing we're going to learn more about, like, sorcerers and the old magic and all this stuff. Now that pretty much all of the battle mages are dead. By the way, we don't, in case you're new here, we don't talk in chronological events of books, nor do we hold back from spoilers. So, spoil a big part of the book. But anyway.
Spoiler.
Basically, you just need a massive sticker that says that. But I do feel as though it could have stood by itself. Obviously, it's not going to stand by itself. There are other things that are coming, but I feel like the arc of this book is very neatly tied up.
See, I don't know how closely we follow these characters in the future books.
This is what I mean. Like, I just don't know.
So I'm feeling like if I remember what I read of the synopsis of the second book.
I'm just getting it up.
It does follow different people. So but I think they are connected to the people we meet in this first one. So I think this it's a series, but it's not like we don't follow the same three people throughout the whole series. I don't think, not as the main characters. So obviously in this one we had Balfrus, who was the battle mage. And then we have Vargas, who was the soldier, and Talandra, who was the princess. And what I really liked about the princess is that she wasn't a damsel in distress.
Yeah,
But she
yeah.
wasn't like that I'm not like any other girls. She was very much like she knew what she wanted, she knew what she stood for, but she also knew that she had to make sacrifices. So she sacrificed her relationship with someone that she clearly loved, because she knew what was expected of her.
Yeah.
So I like the fact that it the and again it could be stereotyping, but a lot of the times the way men write women, it is one or the other, and it is either they're
Yeah.
really over sexualized, or like they're really dumb and they play the damsel in distress, or they go the other way and to show like, no, we're not anti-feminist. Like this woman can do what she, she's Miss Independent, and to a point where sometimes it can come across as really arrogant.
Yep.
Whereas I really liked her as a character, and obviously I'm a very emotional person anyway. I did feel like quite sad for her, sorry for her, that obviously she built this relationship
Yeah.
and then she had to sort of like sacrifice it to step up to the plate. And but I also loved the fact that even before she had to step up and be like the queen,
Yeah.
she like had a whole network of spies that she ran a network of spies, and I thought that was really cool that she was like a spy master.
Yeah, I think that was right cool. I like that she was doing something different, like you said. She's not a damsel or anything. She actually had a role to play.
She
Which
had a voice.
she had a voice.
Although some people believed that she shouldn't have a voice, which was still that again that wasn't too heavy-handed either. You knew the people who clearly felt like she should just put up and shut up, but
Yeah.
it wasn't. That it's typical of the time that these things are written in. So
Yeah, unfortunately, that is true.
but it wasn't overplayed. It was stated because in a book in a book like this, you can't really ignore that
Yeah.
side of it either, can you? Really?
No.
But it wasn't overplayed, so I liked that.
Mm.
So out of the three, who would you say you would POV you were drawn to the most, if any?
Vargas, definitely. Because I feel like he had a lot more mystery around him. Obviously, like, he starts off the book with killing those people.
Mm.
And then there's a point mentioned a fair few POVs in for him where he's talking about how he is fighting, or it's being spoken about how he's fighting in the war, and he's so fast and he manages to do all this and he cuts through all these people and the soldiers are like in awe of him, and his wounds are like healing faster and suddenly he looks a little bit younger. And I was like, what's that about? Like, what is that about? And I really enjoyed the way that Stephen also kind of broached the topic of gods in this world, like how there are many religions, and it was a big part of Sveldrum, I think, where, or like there was no, maybe it wasn't Sveldrum. I find it the only thing that really annoyed me about this book is that there is no map, because I couldn't fully grasp where anything was.
Yeah,
I needed a map.
Yeah.
But there is one part where we're talking about one of the different places, and it's highlighted that if you come here, you can worship who you want, Lord of the Light, Lady of Light, the Maker, any of these people, and essentially like it's be in whatever religion you want as long as you're not hurting anyone else. It doesn't really matter. And I really liked that. And then as we go further into the book and into one of Vargas's point of views, where he is basically in a meeting of all of these gods because he is a god, but we're like, which one are you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. And you get to meet all of them, and some of them are younger, and he has to help one of them because he stumbles upon Vargas in a bar, and he's basically dying because no one believes in him anymore. And I thought that was really interesting, like how their lifespans are basically just based around people believing in them and praying to them. And like that god turned around to Vargas and was like, well, look at you, you're looking younger, basically because he joined this battle, and his like whole thing that he's preaching is about his brotherhood, and people are believing in Vargas and believing in that, and then like kind of gives him a second life essentially, which is really interesting.
But I feel like although he you could tell that I can't say he loves battle because that's the wrong word, but he kind of thrives in that kind of area.
Yeah.
You could tell that he did feel really sort of awkward when they were all turning to him and looking up to him.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, 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 this is us together.
Yeah.
So although that he relies on people believing in him to continue going, he felt really awkward about people actually fully believing in him and thinking of him as a god. I think he wanted the belief and that the brotherhood and the camaraderie of it, but he didn't want anyone to revere him and be like, "Oh my god, you're amazing!" Like praise to you, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want that.
Yeah.
But I think that's a different level in it.
Yeah, I think like I always find it really interesting when I'm reading, especially like these kind of fantasy books. Well, to be fair, any kind of fantasy book where we have like military action with religion. I find that really interesting. Like if an author can write that really well, and not to the point of like, here is my chosen religion, and some people do, and it works for the story, but like I'm not a massive fan of like, here is the one thing, we're all gonna praise this, and then kind of use that as the point of like war, essentially. I really like that this war was not, well, it kind of was to do with religion a little bit, because it's like another continent coming to attack them, and you know, believe in the emperor who has called himself a prophet. But
that was weird as fuck.
He was really weird. I would have been really did you listen to the audiobook? Because I feel like his voice would have been really weird.
It was just okay. You didn't hear his voice that much until near the end when we sort of like for me though, like when we the thing is, people as much as people complain about stories being typical and that kind of stuff, for a certain type of story there needs to be a plot line and an antagonist and a protagonist. There needs to be those points that you've got to hit, and in war there is going to be a catalyst for that war. And a lot of the time it is either a difference in religions, or like somebody feeling like they are above and or better than a certain sect of people. It's just, it tends to be what it is. But there was the way that this emperor sort of caused this war and brought it around was also pretty different. It wasn't a case of, it wasn't a conscious thing. He was sort of like taken over. Obviously he wanted power, otherwise he wouldn't have been put in that position in the first place. But the fact that all this was caused by, like, he was actually going crazy by something that was put inside him, that was inside him. And that was very evident from quite early on, that the way that he was acting and the fact that he looked, it wasn't just that he was acting out and, you know, like being like a belligerent little spoiled brat. It was, you know, the fact that he looked different and, you know, and his personality had changed and that kind of thing. That was all very interesting, because then it makes me wonder, like, how was he taken over because he was more susceptible to that, because he went looking for the extra power and he wanted the extra, but then obviously he just looked in the wrong place, and the Lord of Light interfered when he shouldn't have done.
Wow. We know they did, but he denies it, doesn't he?
But I imagine the Lord of Light is, you know, those Weasley characters that you see in films that
it's Weaselton.
that you just like, oh my god, you are like the creepy little, like skinny, scrawny, sort of like Weasley little characters that are also pompous. I imagine that being the Lord of Light, being like, "Oh, I don't know what you mean interfering with the humans."
The Duke of Weselton from Frozen, basically. Very short as well. Yeah, no, the point that I defected from, I agree that it was about religion. That bit I just didn't word right. What I meant is that I quite like that wasn't like the be all and end all of the war. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Because I agree there had to be like a start point, and it was that king Tychon.
I think you pronounced Tychon, I think, in the audio, yeah.
Don't know, read it in my head, so it was Tychon, like Taekwondo, because that's how it's spelled. I just really liked that, like, every time we saw him, one, he was crazier than he was before, because you could just, like, watch, throughout this book, you literally just watched his arc, like, descend into more madness. He was killing people left, right, and centre.
Oh my god.
How that poor, like, I don't even know what his role, like, helper, whatever his role was. How he survived the whole book, I've got no idea, because he was killing generals, he was killing replacement generals, he was killing messengers, he was killing everything.
Just everyone that just didn't do what, and when he was asking for
gave them
something,
bad news, like
what did he ask for? Was it a green something? A green camel?
Green camel?
And I was just like, and he was like, "You can't get me a green camel." And the guy's like, "No, I'll try." And I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, and this guy has got horns growing out of his head and stuff. So I thought that was really interesting. But every time you went back to him, it wasn't a whole like, "Oh, this is my religion, preach, preach, preach." It was literally like just watching him like descend into madness and like hearing.
Literally turned into something different. So not only was his personality changed, he went from being a normal looking bloke at the beginning to sort of like literally looking like a demon with horns growing out of his head.
Although he did have something like crawling under his skin.
As well, yeah. So it's just like you couldn't ever look at him and say, "Oh, it's all in his head." People, and I think that was the scariest part probably for the people that followed him and that were under him. Like, not only could you see him like acting out violently towards people, you could see that there was something inside him that was causing him to do this, and that was changing him mentally and physically.
Yeah, it was weird.
And it was just so fucking weird, and the way it was described that this black thing was like under his skin, and oh god, it was just
That was literally me. I don't know if you've ever watched The Mummy with Brendan Fraser. That's what I was picturing when he comes back and it's like scarab beetles.
Yeah.
I was like, that made me feel sick when I watched that movie. Really? But I just like that it wasn't the be all and end all of he'd done this about religion, but it wasn't like bam, 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 like all this stuff. I thought that was quite interesting. I think Stephen just writes a really good book, and I think I agree with you in the sense that I do kind of wish there was more world building. I really hope there's a map in the next one, just so I can understand where the hell anything is. But I think as well, because the main point of this book that we're watching is this war, there's not really a lot of world building to do when you're just going from character to character and how they're like fighting things. So, but this is something that I really enjoyed about The Coward, which is another book that Stephen wrote, which is a duology, The Coward and the Warrior. I feel like there was loads of world building in that because they're going on a journey, whereas in this one we're not really journeying anywhere. We are kind of bouncing between a couple of places, but we're not getting that wider scope because you're kind of like just set down in this, in one place, and then you're set down in another place. So it's not the same. And I'm not a writer. I could try, but it wouldn't come out right. I'd get too distracted, to be honest.
You distracted? No.
What? Can't even
Whatever
keep it straight in my head, let alone anything else. Stop distracting me. But ooh, shiny. I've actually lost my train of thought. So annoyed. Oh, this is why I can't vlog at the minute, because I just can't maintain a straight sense of conversation. My brain is done. I've lost it. I can't remember what I was going to say. Anyways, next point. I also really enjoyed being in. What was her name? Tilandra?
Tilandra's head.
Yes, I remember the name. But one of the points that wasn't necessarily like a whole point of view, her spy person.
Girlfriend.
No, the bloke. It was a fat merchant, but it wasn't a fat merchant.
Oh, yes!
Right, name escapes me. But I really enjoyed his. I would say
I really enjoyed him.
Argus was my favourite, just because I was so intrigued about him. That man.
I'll write his name down.
Clearly, I was so intrigued I forgot his name. He was my second favourite because I just really enjoyed seeing all the political things that they were setting up in Talandra's point of view kind of come to light for him as well. Gunda? Is that something?
Good. That rings a bell.
Is it Gunda? I don't know. Honestly, this is why people are like, thank God you don't post anymore. I mean, no one's ever said that to me, but this is probably what people are thinking, like, what the heck are you talking about?
No, I really did like him. See, you kind of knew there was something not off, but he wasn't being fully truthful from the beginning. It was kind of pretty obvious that he wasn't.
A fat merchant, and he wasn't a fat merchant.
Yeah, I think it mentions pretty early on that, like, it doesn't mention outright that he was wearing a disguise, but it's sort of, and the thing is, it's not everything that. I don't know how to explain this. It's all done very subtly. So it's not literally thrown in your face like, oh my God, this guy is dressed up as someone else and is pretending. It's sort of like thrown in a sentence like, at the end of the day, took off his body. What do you mean? Like, it sort of is.
Oh, so I can't wait to take off this fat suit, I think was part
like, oh, I can't wait to, and it was sort of like said during the narrative of the story. It wasn't like throwing like an oh my God kind of moment, and I think that's what made it more interesting as well. And then at the end when he was just like, oh, I'm so tired of being this merchant now, and I'm gonna change. I really liked
Rosa.
that.
I quite like Rosa as well, even though like you don't see a lot of her, in the sense that like, she's pretending to be a princess lady in waiting for this foreign queen. So they're not even in their realm, essentially. They've been shipped off to another country, and they come in and they have this like little not set to, but like they have this little like routine, and she'll come in and ask for stuff, and they'll have tea, and then they'll actually discuss top secret spy stuff, because they have to do it like under the cover, like they have to keep up pretenses and all these things. And I thought that was really interesting. I will say it was quite sad when Gunda, I really hope I'm remembering his name right. He has a young boy helper in the shop, and there was a point where midway through the book, Gunda's like, trying to start a rebellion, but without kind of being himself, but also being himself as like a merchant, and they're all wearing masks, and he gets followed home, and it's the young lad that works in his shop, and this lad calls him out as a traitor essentially, and Gunda kills him because he's like, wow, I can't have you risking anything. This boy has gone over to the Chosen, which are the like new police force essentially, sent by the Mad King, because he's invaded this country. Jesus Christ, he's invaded the company, and all the stocks are going down, and yeah, I found that really sad. But it also kind of showed that Gunda was like, I have no qualms. You're in my way. You're an obstacle. I'm gonna fix this, and this is what I'm doing. And then when it comes to the night of the rebellion, he's dressed as someone else, which is one of the chosen soldiers, and there's a point actively within that sequence where he's working with these Drazi warriors who are like very well known as like mercenaries essentially within the world, really going all over the place here today. And he turns in his head, he's like, oh well, I'm taking them to these specific people, but they can't know that they're not actually part of the chosen. So he's lying to these people that are well known, that if you lie to them, they'll probably like kill you as well, to be fair. And he
plays it very,
these are chosen, or these are really bad people, when they're actually visiting foreign important people that he was like, I'm going to get them out of the way because then that makes our cause easier and we can get more of our people in power around here or just further the food chain. And I was like, that's really clever. Like, no wonder you are the like head of this little spy ring over here.
I think it was very telling at the end though when he was getting tired of being deceitful. Like he was getting tired of not being able to be himself because he'd been other people for so long. And he'd been playing parts for so long that at the end he was just like, I just want to go back to just being a normal person sort of thing. But yeah, I'm curious to see whether or not we'll come up to see him in the future books.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I've just reread the blurb for the second book. Said something about Katia, which I'm guessing is another one of their like team, but we haven't really met them. So that's quite interesting. And maybe he'll come in as like someone else. I don't know. But I also wonder if this is going to be a bit like, and I don't know if you've read it, the Illuminae Files by J. Kristoff, where like the first two books in the trilogy are like following different people, and then in the third one they like all come together. Not that I've read the one where they all come together, but I've read the other two, so I wonder if it's going to be like that, where like you have 3 people in this book and 3 people in that book, and then they're all gonna, because Balfours has got to. What's the point, right, in calling the first book Battlemage, killing off pretty much all the Battlemages, leaving one, and then not having him come back somewhere? That doesn't make sense. So like, I'm predicting that this guy comes back.
See, when I first read this series titles, and then I saw like the back of the blurb on the back of the book on the first one, and I knew that it was called Battle Mage, Blood Mage, Chaos Mage. I thought that if Balfours was the Battle Mage, Vargas was going to be like the Blood Mage, and Talandra was going to end up being the Chaos Mage. I thought that would be the case, but if you're saying they're not mentioned at all in the second the synopsis in the second book, so if we're following different people, it's 3 different people in it. 4: Bayern, Frey, Kos or Chos, and Katya.
Kos or Chos? Somebody.
Kos or Chos.
You'll tell me because you'll listen to the audiobook. So I'll come on, say Chos, you'll say it's Kos.
So like, the first one follows 1 battle mage out of 3 POVs. So I'm confused. But
I'm always confused. Excited. That's just kind of like my continuous way of life.
None of their arcs were closed off. So Balfours obviously lost all of his friends. That poor guy has been through some serious fucking shit.
And now he's traveling up to see the first people, which, by the way, what the heck does that even mean? With his dad, who left him when he was like 8 to look after his dying mum.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Like that whole fucking
like at the start when we meet Balfours and
Gregor?
Greg? No, I'm not talking about Greg. I'm talking about his mate. Volt. I don't know. Begins with a V. His mate. He goes to have tea with him. Like at the start of the book. Again, really good with the names, me. I need to get back on this. I need to get better. Retrain the brain. I'm trying to do that for 29 years. Anyways, when he goes to see that guy, his mate, and his wife, and their kids.
Oh.
See, right? He's on the war council as well. He's like a general. And there is literally a point where Balfours leaves, and this man and his wife goes, did you tell him about his dad? And his friend is like, no, there wasn't time. And I was like, who's his dad? Yes. Who is he? Thinking, or maybe he passed away, maybe he was someone important to him. No, this man abandoned him with his mum. Mm-hmm. And to be fair, like, reading Gregor's, I hope I'm saying that right as well, point of view about that time, like, I kind of get it. I do kind of get it. Not personally, I haven't done that, but in the sense of, like, he wanted something more, which is exactly what Balfours wanted as well. He didn't want to stay where he was. He was glad that he got taken to the Red Tower, which is where they train the mages and all these things, so he could get away and travel. But at the same time, I was like, you completely abandoned your family and went off to war or fighting, and you never came home because you found that that's what you enjoyed more, which is quite sad when you think about it.
Yeah.
And, you know, you came back, but then, of course, Balfours and his mum had adapted and they were fine, the two of them, and then Gregor felt like he didn't have a place anymore, so he started visiting less, and then he just sent letters. And
that was really sad to hear that he felt that, though.
No one's in the right in that situation.
Yeah, it wasn't right, but
he's definitely in the wrong, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like I can also empathise with him coming home and being like, oh well, you seem just fine without me. You don't seem like you need me. I'm just gonna go back.
And to be fair, he would have also changed as well. Again, not condoning just abandoning your family, but he would have also changed as a person a lot through the fact that he was, you know, traveling, there was war, there was, you know, everything going on. So coming back to like a slow family life, it will have been difficult. I mean, obviously it's well documented in our world as well, isn't it? When people come back from war, PTSD, and like not being able to adapt to civil society again. Do you know what I mean? It's so the fact yeah. So, but I feel like Balfours had been through so much. Like he'd, you know, got the Battlemages back together. They were all fighting and they were all doing so well. Then the tides turned, and then he literally lost everybody close to him. And I know that you're not as emotional as me, so you know this would have affected you because you have no heart. But after again, names escape the brain, but when she lost her husband, one of his like longest like his longest,
Eloise, I remember
her. When she lost her husband, and as soon as he said something like the typical something stupid like I won't leave you or something stupid like that. Like they had a conversation before they went out to war or out to fight again. You knew as soon as they'd had that conversation, seeing as we never had those two just talking to each other before, I knew that one of them was gonna die. Like it was obvious because that happens all the time. It's like the big conversation before you go out to battle, and you know that in a film if they ever say, "I promise I won't leave you," or "Wait until we've come back from war until we've done this," or whatever, because they wanted to start a family, didn't they? So like, oh, we'll do one, or if they say one last fight, never say that because one of them will die.
Because that will be your one last fight.
Something bad is gonna happen if that conversation is had beforehand. And they had like a talk before. I was like, no, one of them was gonna die, and then for them both to die, and the way that she died was fucking horrific. I know it was bad anyway, but being like burnt so badly, and then sort of like just being half there and like half. Oh, it was At one point,
I will say, fair play to Stephen for like there were many points in this book where I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, that is fucking brutal.
Or like just descriptions of stuff. I was like, okay.
Yeah, glad I weren't eating. Yeah. Say like there's this charred body though. I was like, nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Yep. Not fun at all. Or like when he was discussing like the Mad King and the way he would like disembowel people and there was like blood everywhere and this poor kid, like sat in the corner. There was one part and I was reading, like physically reading, not even like listening to it. This poor kid is like sat in the corner in a ball with his eyes closed. It suddenly goes quiet. He opens his eyes and the king's there and I was like, Jesus Christ. And I was reading. I wasn't even listening to it. So there was no, like, the only sound effects were in my head. And even I was like, oh.
And when it mentioned there was like a rotting corpse in the side of the room and I was like, bleh.
Yeah. No. But yeah, I was quite impressed, to be fair, that like an actual reading a physical book made me kind of jump.
Yeah.
Like, nope.
Is it because you imagine it in your head, don't you? Like sitting there carrying from someone, all of a sudden the person you're carrying from is like there in front of you. Oh no.
Yeah. But like he didn't even hear anything. Like, I feel like that would be creepier as well. Like, in my brain, I was like, it will be creepier if you like felt breath on him. No, it's creepy. He's opening his eyes, and this man is just like there
in his face. There's fucking black thing crawling up him.
No, thank you. Oh my god, that makes
Yeah.
it horrible. No, don't like that.
I describe it when something was infected. I'm like all the descriptive things. And again, like if you're the kind of person that doesn't visualize things in your head, I feel like that it'll be a different reading experience because I visualize it in my head as well when they describe with what's going on in the book. I'm just like, no. Yeah. But especially when it's like how when they get deep with the detail of how it looks and it smells, I'm just like, no, I can't. I can't.
No.
After all that, losing so many people that he cared for, and like coming very, very, very close to death himself, but saving everybody. He was then, because of the fact that he's a Battlemage, and because of like how he saved them, people were scared of him, and he was basically like unofficially exiled. Like he had to leave because too many people were scared of him. So they didn't officially say you can't stay, but he knew by how people reacted to him that he couldn't stay. I was like,
powerful. I was like,
that's just fucking horrible. That is savage, and you know, and we've mentioned this in a few times before. I hate the resurrection trope.
Although, sorry, I was kind of hoping when it kept being hinted, and I'm guessing he's going to learn about it like as he goes on, if we see more from him. But when they were like, "Oh, you could heal Eloise," and I was like,
"Yes,
is he going to learn how? Like, is that going to be like he's going to do all this stuff? He's going to come back and be like, "Look at all my power." Whatever that is.
Because it didn't. In my mind, she's dead. Because it kept saying so many times she was close to death. She was almost dead. It's like she was dead. And it's not actually said she passed away. It's saying like it said so many times she's close to death. It looks like she was dead. Or it'd be better if she was dead because she looks like she's a bit like that. To me, I don't like the resurrection trope. But when it comes to a character that I really want to survive, I'm like, maybe we could just do it.
I mean, that's not the resurrection trope, is it? Like, Jen Lyons is the queen of the resurrection trope of like, you're dead, you're not, you're dead, you're not, you're dead, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, you're actually dead. This woman is in a coma. So I feel like it's a little bit different, you know?
Yeah, it is. But I kind of wanted one of those last minute miracles to be like he can use his Battlemage-ness for healing instead.
Yes.
And I was like, just heal her. And when he tried,
yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, right, so it's been very hammered into us that like pretty much everyone is dead or exploded from them Battlemages. Is he still going to be the last Battlemage? Is he going to find, like, when he goes to the first people, are we going to see him go to the first people? Like, I want to see that. 2, is he going to stumble across, like, a secret sect of Battlemages who aren't Battlemages, they're just sorcerers? Like, is he going to, like, people that live in they've got, like, a little house, it's not really a house, is it?
A little house.
Little school in the jungle. I don't know why, but that's where I'm picturing the first people to live, like, in the jungle. In the woods, off the land,
in little huts,
in little huts in the trees,
living off the earth with nothing but
like the Oompa Loompas in the new Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp. Yeah, like they live in huts and they
like cavemen.
No, that's
a bit of tarp wrapped round them.
Like in Finding Nemo, and they're like, hoo ha ha. Yeah, exactly like that.
Yeah.
No, but like, you know, going to see the first people and they're like, yeah, actually we've stopped sending our kids with power to the Red Tower since the council left, because I feel like they kept mentioning about the Great Grey Council leaving. Like maybe that's going to be nothing, but I feel like it's something.
Yeah, there was some things that was said that like if they don't mean anything, it was pointless them being mentioned. So like if Eloise can't be healed, Why would he not just kill her off?
Constantly mentioned.
Yeah, like why would he not have just killed her off if she can't be healed? If the Grey Council are they really gone, or did they just go into hiding and like they you know what I mean? Like, oh, like are these people being secretly trained?
Maybe.
Or like you said, in like a secret sect, but also
or am I just like completely like gone out of left field, like past the edge of where this book even like has the realm of possibility, and I've just like barreled off an edge, found a cliff, jumped off it. Like,
there's so many questions, like you could make up so many things. So like in my brain, I've got so many theories. So if you want me, if someone wanted to write a book, I could be like, here are my theories, write them down into something good. Because I could think of loads of things, but I couldn't physically write it. But it's just like, so Talandra, I think she's going to be a key. Like even her arc didn't really wrap up. I really wanted her to get with. I wanted her to be able to get married to the woman and be like, you don't need to produce an heir. Just be with the one that you love, because.
But I wonder if, like, in her arc, she's gonna like. My theory on all of this, right, is that she mentioned about how the queen of the other place where Gunda was, is going to be a good ally, right?
Yes.
Her son had his business chopped off just to, because the queen went, "No, Mad King, you are not coming into my country," and he went, "I'm coming anyways." And then to punish her for saying no and taking her time and saying yes, took the crown prince, chopped off his business and went, "No more kids for you, if any." I'm thinking that the queen is going to give the crown prince to Talandra, and then she can be with Shani on the side. I don't know if that's going to be anywhere near true.
Can't have an heir, so that won't work. She needs an heir.
But it's not. It doesn't matter, does it? Because then there'll be allies. Because that's also a thing. And maybe that bit doesn't matter about the heir. Or maybe the queen goes, "Do you know what? You're broken now. Off you go, prince.
Off you pop."
She's got a daughter. Daughter can have kids. Come on in. We're just going to swap up the roles. And the prince is going to be like, "Yeah, all right, that's fine.
I like girls anyway."
I don't like girls. I don't like anybody. There's always that. Who knows? I don't know. That is a little bit far-fetched. But I do wonder if, like, they're going to, like... like link up to Talandra and him as like allies, because
link up, yeah.
Well, go on, mate. Like, I'm so down with all of the kids, and I'm too old for this.
Oh,
I didn't
there's
even...
just too many things.
Like, that could be a potential.
It could.
Because heir or not, allies are still where it's at.
Yeah, man. For me, I think she needs an ally anyway, because she can't go the way that she's
by
going.
herself.
No. She needs to form an alliance with one place, and how that's
like
going
that
to
meme was like, "You want to form an alliance with me?" Yes, I do.
Put a ring on it. But for Vargas, there's so many mysteries around Vargas.
Does he kill the Lord of Light? Do we actually find out what happened to the Maker? Like, does the Maker ever come back? I found that really interesting as well. Now that more things are coming back to my brain.
Who is the Maker?
Well, not even like who is, because it's almost like they're an idea that just kind of gets reborn, like, and then like a soul that kind of gets plopped into babies.
Is it like Tinkerbell? Like, I believe in fairies. I do.
I don't know, but I am wondering if like one of these, because Vargas was like, "Yeah, I killed him because he was going crazy. He'd had too many lives."
We didn't even talk about that, did we?
Yeah, no, because we can't talk in chronological order.
That was disgusting.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill him. He asked me to because he'd gone a little bit too many lives. You would know this from the Critical Role TV show.
Yeah.
Like her. that one Critical Role TV show where they're animated, Mighty Nine, and
Vox Machina as well. Which one?
No, the Mighty Nine.
Ah.
Literally the Mighty. That I just said the Mighty Nine. That's why I said the Mighty. I was electroding my brain to remember myself. The Mighty Nine. Isaac's mum. See, I remember his name. She gets put down. This is a spoiler for that, by the way. Have you watched that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. By the way, I'm just like ruining everything because in their culture, like you get reborn and reborn and reborn, and then occasionally, like you kind of go a little bit doolally because you've had too many lives, and then they all kind of cross sect. That's where the Maker goes, essentially. And then Vargas, by the sounds of it, is tracking down all the babies that he's born into to just keep killing him until he's had enough of a rest to come back a bit more sane, which confuses me slightly. Like, how do you know, because they're a baby, at what point they come back a little bit more sane? But I'm hoping that the Maker comes back and then sits in that dusty old chair that they were all looking at in the group collective that they were in, where all of them came and were talking about the Mad King. That was a massive tangent, but really like that. I have a prediction that I'm hoping that because we've made such a big deal out of it, they are going to come back. But I found that quite interesting. You know, life after life after life. You would go a little bit like, what's up, what's down?
Yeah, especially if you remembered parts of your previous.
Or all of it.
Or
like,
all of previous.
At what point do you die? Like, with Vargas, they said he'd been alive for a very long time.
But the Lord of the Light, he did say...
He's fresh. He's fresh. Like, he hasn't lived nearly as long because he's a new religion. So is it a case that, like, the human population come up with these things and they, like, spawn, like in Godkiller, if you've read Godkiller, by, what's her name, Hannah something?
Okay, no, I haven't.
That is that kind of idea, is that at the very start of that book, the main character is going around killing these random gods that have kind of spawned because people believe in them and basically make them a little offering place. And then she goes and kills them because she's like, "You're not really real God, are you?" Like, that's her job as a god killer. I'm wondering if that's kind of like how this starts, but on a much grander scale. Rather than having like loads of little gods, they've got, you know, summer, I'm guessing winter, spring, and autumn. They weren't mentioned though. Lord of Light, Lady of Light, the one that was eating people, which was a bit odd. Just like became this thing with tentacles. I was like, what is going on?
Oh, it's just...
How does that work?
Well, I think that I really thought until I thought that Vargas was going to be, and I know he's a god, so so he is powerful, but I really wanted him to be one of like the mages, because I don't understand what his purpose is. If, like, obviously
he's a battle god. That is his point. He is a god of battle. If they're even really gods, like, I think
Battlemage, because Balthus could die, and like obviously Vargas can die, but the one thing he said about the Lord of Light is that he said he can make him die, so his death stays dead.
Dead.
He could go dead. So the Maker's the only person who can continually come back. Like the.
I think Vargas can continually come back. I think it's something to do with like how long they've been. Like the Lord of Light isn't like an immortal. Like,
he's not well established enough.
Yeah, like that's the impression I get. I could be wrong, but it's almost as if like the older ones have this ability to be like reborn. But if you're a fresher one, like one like that one that ate people, he was like, "I'm gonna die." That was almost as if like once that's it. Because people have stopped believing in me, and then I'm gonna like eat people in a really weird way and somehow convert that into life essence for myself.
No,
I know,
that's
it
just
creeped me
it.
out because I was like, no, it doesn't. Are they all like that? Do they all have tentacles? Like, don't know.
I really want. I don't know. I think there's so much more that these stories of like the cat speak. They've got so much more to go. Like,
Mm. But I
I
do
get
wonder
what you
if it
mean
is
by
a
you.
bit of a one and done. Like, oh, they might pop up somewhere else. But
Mm.
I've briefly scanned all of the blurbs for all of the books, and I mean, Gunda. I really don't know if this is good. Wasn't mentioned in any of the blurbs for the first book, but he had quite a prominent role. So is it going to be like similar kind of thing following on, where like we're going to follow these like 4 new characters in different places, and then Balfour kind of gets like a POV every now and again of like what he's doing, so that you're not just in a travel montage.
Balfour is mentioned in book 3.
Well, I didn't read that far clearly,
Mm.
but yeah, like I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What did you give this, by the way? We never asked.
I gave it 4 stars.
Okay, I also gave it 4 stars.
Because I do think that although I know what you mean, know what you were saying about battles, like it's like it's heavily a war book. But I also agree with you in the fact that it could have done with the map. Because it does mention people from various places. So it would
Where are they?
yeah, so
Is
for
that north?
me, it's like that's Manchester, up there's Glasgow. So you know that
You
like
from Glasgow? You from the make believe version of Glasgow?
So
Get
I
one.
just, it's not like a questing book, but it's good to know what regions people are from,
Yeah,
just so we could get an idea of like
yeah,
the scale of this world as well, because there's no sort of gauge of like how big this world is, or
yeah. Like
you
his Perry. Is that like, you know, Birmingham to Hull, or like
Scotland to
Birmingham to Barcelona? Like, what?
London.
How many horses do I need to get there?
Good question. Find out in the
But
next
that's
installment
also the
of
thing. Like they were talking about the war, going from the front line of the war at one point back to where Talandra was, because Balfour's like travelled, and they were almost, they had to change horses. But again, I'm like, how many leagues can a horse run? How many leagues is a mile? I don't know. Can a horse go from Glasgow to Birmingham at full speed,
what
or is
was
that
his
too far?
obsession with Glasgow?
You started it with Glasgow. Do they
You're
have
just
to
using
stop at
Glasgow as a
Hull?
point of reference now.
Yeah. Do they have to like pit stop in Yorkshire, get a bit of tea, come back down? I don't know.
Go to Glasgow to Carlisle, stop at Carlisle, and then switch
That's not
horses.
that far. Not everyone's supposed to make it that far. You know, that's just a biscuit stop, not a cuppa stop.
Newcastle then.
No, yeah. No. Which one? Under Lyme? Upon Trent? Or whichever one it is? Upon Tyne?
I don't know.
There's a few. I've had this confusing conversation before with Jack, because Jack used to be in a band that heavily toured, and he was like, I'm going to Newcastle. And I was like, oh, okay, there's only one. No, there are 2. Didn't know that. Did not. I think they're kind of the same place, but you have to fact check that. That's been said on the internet. Jesus Christ.
People will come for you.
They
But
can if they want. I don't post anymore, so good luck.
I really do hope that we do come across, even if Vargas. I think Talandra's gonna come up anyway because she's like a queen, isn't she now? So
She is.
it's not like she's not that Balfour and Vargas are nobodies, but she's like a prominent figure, isn't she? So she's not like even if she's mentioned in passing, we'll kind of get to and that kind of thing. But Balfour and Vargas, I would like to know where they end up, what happens with them, because I think Balfour still has a lot that he could give, and I want to know, but I also am intrigued to find out what are the abilities of the blood mages and chaos mages, because obviously it's supposed because if the battle mage is obviously for battle, the blood mages also fight, but just
Yeah, with
differently.
the blood.
Is it just like but like how does that manifest? Is it like they use their own blood? Do they? And the chaos mage is very very specific, like, but also very vague.
I'm one of them.
Like
if I am any
chaos,
of a mage.
chaos in what way? Is it going to cause chaos with the weather? Is it like a or is it good? Like how is it?
Like,
What is the chaos mage and how do they cause chaos?
because the
And
battle
how
mages like made lightning.
Yeah, but they weren't called lightning mages, were they?
I don't freaking know. It's like God of Thunder, isn't it? So it's kind of like.
That's what I mean. So like a lot of the times you can kind of get an idea of what kind of thing they bring to the narrative by like the name of what they are. But blood mage could be anything. It could be a healer type, like you heal people like through blood, or it could be another fighter type.
It's hygienic.
Shut up.
It's
Clearly it is. What do you mean? Getting a chaos mage. How is that different to a battle mage? How does that? It's all stuff that we're going to come across and answer at some point. But it does beg the question, like, Mr. Stephen Arion, what on earth and why would you just leave things hanging like this?
So that you read the next book because he's written a trilogy. Also, I am right. There are two Newcastles. One is under Lyme, and one is Newcastle upon Tyne. I don't know if either of them associate each other with, each other. But they're 3 hours apart. So, learn some geography today. You didn't know.
Learn something new every day.
There are two Newcastles. However, I think only Newcastle upon Tyne are Geordies. I don't really know what Newcastle under Lyme class themselves as, because I'm not one. But if you are one and you're from there, let me know because I'm really intrigued.
Got off on a tangent here. Surprise! So what? The thing is with this, you can't even predict. You can't even say, well, these are my predictions for book 2 because we know that the main characters in book 2 are 4 different people.
We're not reading about this. Told you it's standalone.
Well, then after this, isn't there like another trilogy after this?
Yes, which
it's like the Age of Dread.
After.
How many?
10.
So the Age of Darkness, which is these 3, and then Age of Dread.
Yeah, which is Mageborn.
And I did a typical Lisa thing, and I got Mageborn on audio way back when, like last year, thinking it was the first in the series. It's not. It's the middle book in the second series.
No, Mageborn's the first book in the second series, just 10 years later.
I thought Mageborn was the second book. Either way, it's still stupid because I can't even read it yet. I've still got it on audio for when I need it, though.
Not being funny, though, if you did read the blurb and you were like, oh, this sounds interesting, I would understand how you would think it was a standalone series because it does say 10 years after the Battlemage War or something. And some books do say that just for shits and giggles, really.
Yeah.
10 years after this, and you're like, well, you don't know what happened 10 years ago because that's the whole point. You read the book to see how the problems from the past come and creep up and smack you in the present time.
Yeah, Vargas will turn up again in the second series. Like, boom, I'm still alive.
Maybe he'll be the god of peace. Who knows?
No. Like fighting too much. No. So I think that we're gonna meet the Blood Mage in book 2.
I would like to think so, with it being the name of the book. So I think you could be pretty right on that prediction.
I think I'm fucking bang on with that prediction, and I could say with 99.999% accuracy that I am correct.
You might be incorrect though. Who knows?
That not 1%.
Maybe there is no blood mage. Maybe that's what Balfour kind of descends into madness of. Maybe he's all of them.
Oh my god! Maybe he descends into madness.
That is right.
5 stars to you. Pat on the back. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is the most
you get absolutely nothing.
Whoop ever.
That's my lovely whoop.
Oh, it's him. That's your lovely whoop.
Kind of like Bunny. See, this is where we descend into madness. See, this is where we descend into madness, and you know that you're watching two people with a neurodiversity who can't last more than an hour without going into total absolute madness.
Speak for yourself. I haven't been diagnosed. I'm fine.
Neither have I yet. Fucking NHS leaving me waiting.
I'm just going to keep drinking my Celsius and be in my happy bubble and starting and stopping books every 5 seconds.
You still got a list of 22 books on your Goodreads want to read, or have you just currently reading?
I did cut it down.
To how many?
20. At the end of last year, I did a bit of a cull, and I was like, oh, if I haven't picked it up for ages, then I'm going to cut it off.
Cut what off?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
Oh, and you say you're okay, friend.
I am okay, to be fair. I do love watching people's little faces, and I'm like, oh yeah, I've got like multiple books on the go. I was talking about that on a work trip, and they were like, no, one book at a time. And I was like, no, minimum is like an audio, an ebook, and a physical.
Yeah.
But in reality, it's like 10 books. It's not, it's 14. And they're like, how do you remember the story? And I was like, I don't know, I just do.
But also, just because you've got 3 books on the go doesn't mean they have to be 3 of the same book. In your case, it probably will be similar because you read a very limited genre.
I take offence. I'm pretty broad spectrum within the fantasy range. Thank you very much. I got some romance on there. I've got.
But it's going to be fantasy, isn't it? One of them, like somewhere in the fantasy realm.
RPG, because technically I've read the first 2 chapters of Dungeon Crawler Carl.
You've only read the first 2 chapters and you were able to put it down. Are you okay?
I only read the first chapter.
That is so fucking good. How could you put that down after 1 chapter? Oh, friends,
we're gonna have a problem. Read Battlemage.
We're gonna have a problem. We're gonna have so many problems, me and you.
I mean, look, I'll spin you. Spinning. Oh god, you caught on my box. I got all of them there, and I've pre-ordered the next one, and up there somewhere, which I don't know if you'll be able to see. Yeah, Operation Bounce House is up there. So I have them. I just need to read.
Operation Bounce House.
Yeah, this is new sci-fi one.
Alright, I'm gonna go before I yell at you.
Why would you yell at me?
Because you can't believe you've only read the first chapter of Dungeon Crawler Carl.
I can read the first chapter of many, many books. That is part of my problem.
It's alright. I won't be mad at you. It's fine. It's fine. We're fine. It's all fine.
I can't remember if I put this down for Battlemage, if I put this down to reread House of Earth and Blood.
So, we'll be reading Bloodmage for March, and at some point in March, we will be doing the live show in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I need to get on that, to be fair, because otherwise we're going to be well behind.
I know.
Because of my technical difficulties, we ended up pushing this from Feb to March, so sorry.
So, in another couple of weeks' time, we'll be here talking about Bloodmage, where we'll give you an answer, potentially, of what's happened to Balthus, Vargas, and Talandra, or maybe not. If they're not mentioned in the second book, we shall see.
Who knows?
Yet to find out. TBD. TBR, it's to be read.
Make sure you come back to find out more.
On the thrilling installment of It's All About Fantasy. Next
time, coming up on It's All About Fantasy. Is Lisa
Will they ever talk in a linear timeline? No.
That's not even on there.
Oh, thank you very much to anyone who watches this back. Apologies. No, not apologies. I'm not apologizing for myself. It is chaos. It is what it is. We are who we are.
I'm a chaos mage. I found some trash.
And on that lovely note, where she's wiggling a dangle in front of you, we're gonna go.
A dangly? That sounds really inappropriate. This is off a box. Thank you very much. What box? I don't know, but a box.
That's Chelsea, guys. There, welcome. Well,